some hot Cheetos right now. Alright, so today it is day 10 of 15 days of foundation. This is where I'm doing a new first impression video every single day for 15 days. If you've missed any of days 1 through 9, they're all linked down below in a playlist along with last series. You can go watch. It's a good time. So today's foundation is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. This is brand spanking new. I found this on Instagram, and as soon as I saw they had a white mixer, I ordered this on iKate House. I think it actually came out on iKate House before the LA Girl website or anywhere else. I'm not sure if they accidentally put it out before it was supposed to launch, but I've actually had this for a couple weeks now. You get 0.95 fluid ounces of product in here, so just a tiny bit less than standard 1 fluid ounce. And this retails for $7.99 on iKate House and $10 on the LA Girl website, so definitely better to get it on the iKate House site. It also says on the LA Girl website that they're going to be in CVS stores soon. I haven't seen it at my CVS, but Washington drugstores suck, so might be at yours. So if you are new here, I have tons of videos for people with pale skin. One of my favorite things for pale skin is foundation mixers. Foundation mixers can be awesome for lightening a product. You can basically make any foundation, almost any, work unless it's like super dark. Even if you don't have pale skin, mixers can be awesome if you have foundations that work for you in the summer and you want to make them work for you in the winter when you're a little bit lighter. Don't throw away your foundation, don't get a different shade, just use a foundation mixer. One of my favorite mixers that I've talked about for years is Manic Panic Dream Tone. That was one of the first white foundations on the market. In the last year or 2 years, they have been freaking popping up. I'm doing a whole foundation mixer showdown video coming soon. So in the foundation, I have the white shade, and then I also picked up Fair and Porcelain. This comes in 16 shades, including the white mixer, and it does look like it goes pretty deep. I'm going to include swatches of all 3 of these compared to some of the other foundations that I own. Alright, swatch time. So right here is the white foundation mixer by LA Girl. LA Girl foundation in... okay, where are you going? LA Girl foundation in Fair. Same foundation in Porcelain. This is the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation in 51, which I did a review on yesterday. Dermacol 208. Clinique Continuous Coverage Creamy Glow, Urban Decay All Nighter 0.5, Kat Von D Lock-It L42, and EX1 1.0. Also wanted to mention that I put together a blog post of a bunch of my foundation swatches from videos next to each other, so you can see kind of a lineup of a bunch of foundations I've swatched. I'm going to link that post down below so you can see kind of a comparison between a bunch of different foundations. So I'm on the LA Girl website. Let's read some of the claims about this guy. It says it's a long wear illuminating liquid foundation ideal for flawless looking full coverage finish. Lightweight formula is comfortable for all day wear. Paraben-free formula with added antioxidants helps hydrate and improve the skin's appearance. Now available to extend the color range even fuller, an innovative white foundation mixer to adjust and customize color. So innovative. No one's ever done it. So that is all of the claims about this. LA Girl is cruelty free. If you guys are liking 15 days of foundation, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to jump into the makeup. If you want to see how this foundation applies and wears throughout the day, you're in the right place. Just keep watching. Alright, I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. Used my Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer, because that's what I do every day. Need coffee. So they recommend using a sponge or your fingers for this foundation. So on half my face, I'm going to use my sponge, and then on half, I'm going to use a brush just to see. I have the shades Porcelain and Fair here, which you will have already seen swatches of, but I haven't yet, so I'm just going to do that really quick. So I think I'm going to go in with the shade Porcelain. Actually, you know what? I'm going to swatch this just on my cheek for a second, just to see if I need a mixer. I don't know if I do with Porcelain. I do want to see how the mixer works, so I think I'm going to actually take the shade Fair. I think Porcelain could work on its own if this doesn't oxidize. So I'm going to go with the shade Fair instead so I can try out this mixer. So the white mixer, consistency-wise, looks about the same. They're both pretty runny. And I'm doing about 1 to 2 mixer to foundation. Since I use that sponge on that bottom half, we're going to use a sponge first on this side. This feels super liquidy. Interesting that this is supposed to be full coverage. On that one layer with a sponge, this definitely isn't full coverage, but it looks like a nice light to medium coverage. I'm hoping we can build this up a little bit because of how thin the formula is. I think this might build well. So I'm gonna go in with my Sigma F80 brush on the other side of my face. It has a little bit of like a chemical-y scent. So brush side, I definitely got lighter coverage. This is like a light coverage with a brush, and sponge I think we got low medium coverage. So I'm gonna go in for a second layer using that sponge. Right now it's looking like a pretty dewy finish, which I personally like. I like more dewy and full coverage, but we'll see once this sets if it mattifies at all. We got definitely more coverage on the second layer. It's still not completely full coverage. Freckles are all coming through, but it does look like a really nice amount of coverage, I feel like. I think next time I would spot conceal my scarring down here because it didn't really cover any of that. As far as I can tell on here, this mixer has the exact same ingredients as the foundation, so what that means to me is that it's probably not a different formula. It's not really going to sheer out your foundation. It's just about the same amount of coverage as this one. With that in mind, this one is lighter medium coverage, so this might sheer out some of your more full coverage foundations, but it lightened well. Since this is an illuminating product, I like that you can mix this in with more matte foundations that are too dark and it could give it more of a dewy finish. I don't think I really have an illuminating mixer, so I like that about this. When I do the wrap up video at the end of 15 days, I'm going to keep trying out this mixer with other products to see how it mixes. I think I actually could have mixed in a little bit more. You can see my neck is a tiny bit lighter right now. So it definitely has a dewy finish. It's not really mattifying at all. Feels like it's starting to set, but I'm definitely going to set this one with a powder. So it is now 8:50. Let's just call the check-in time 9 o'clock. I'm going to put on the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. All right, so it's now 9:10. I'm going to call the check-in time 9 o'clock since that's about when I finish the face makeup. So I ended up setting my face with the Maybelline Better Skin Super Stay Powder. Really like this stuff. It definitely mattified my face a little bit. It looks more like a satin matte finish right now, but with this powder, the foundation usually comes through about halfway through the day. Up close, my skin does look really good right now. It looks very smooth. This foundation is not full coverage by any means, but I do really like the finish of it right now. And since it is so thin, it doesn't really look like you have a ton of foundation on your face, especially if you only used one layer. I feel like it would look pretty natural. Blush, bronzer, highlight blended out totally fine on top. Everything is looking good right now. So on the rest of my face, bronzer, I used the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I don't really like this one. I know some people really like this for pale skin, but to me it just looks kind of like a darker powder. I think you would just get a darker shade of like face powder and get the same kind of effect with this. The shade is just a little bit off for me. Blush and also kind of like highlight, Hello Kitty, this is brand new, the Yummy Cookies Super Shock Cheek. It's almost like a rose gold highlight. If you have pale skin, you could also use this as a blush, which is kind of what I did. I have this basically like all over my cheeks right now. I used a lot of Colourpop today. My eyes is almost all Colourpop. I used two other shadows from their Hello Kitty collection, the shades Small Gift, the pink shade, and Sticker Sheet. I also used the Colourpop Honey Dude liner on my waterline. Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And then the gold is this NYX Studio Liquid Liner in Extreme Gold. That's what I did, the little wing or whatever we have going on with that. Yeah, literally almost used all Colourpop. Platform and Tight Fit, which is like a metallic gloss, is what's on my lips. Next check-in I do will be in natural lighting, so words are just not coming today. I will be back in a few hours to check in. All right, so it is now 1:44, so the foundation's been on for almost 5 hours. I'm literally like straddling the floor right now, getting a good leg workout. The foundation looks good. It looks kind of like the Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation that I did a review on, was that yesterday? I think so. I'll link that one down below, but just the way that it's sitting on my skin and the coverage too kind of reminds me of that, but it just looks very healthy, and my forehead looks a little bit dewy but not oily. My skin just looks really like fresh. I'm gonna get real close. As you can see, the texture on this is really good for me, especially 5 hours in. My forehead looks really nice right now, I think. No creasing around my nose or upper lip at all. No complaints right now. By the way, I changed my lips. This is Rimmel First Class Nude. I don't know how 5 hours has already gone by. I literally just shopped on IKEA for 3 hours. I'm ordering a ton of home decor stuff right now because I have a super exciting new space that I am furnishing. So no complaints right now. I will check back in at the end of the night. All right, so it is 7:30, so the foundation has been on for 10.5 hours. I hope you guys can see this right now because I literally look like a stick of butter. Holy shitsies. One, this has majorly oxidized. Definitely looks too dark now. Two, this oil. I set this foundation with a powder, so the fact that I have this much oil right now, this is extreme oil for me. I think the only other time I've seen this is with L'Oreal Pro Glow. It's not even in my T-zone, it is all over my face, all over my forehead, my cheeks, like down here is oily. I actually can't believe how greasy I am right now. I think it looked okay up until about the 6 or 7 hour mark. After that, it just went downhill, got super oily. Every foundation works differently for different people. Some people might love this, just like some people loved the L'Oreal Pro Glow. That was personally one of my least favorite foundations, but I think some people might like this. It did look really nice on my skin, like I said, for the first like 6 or 7 hours. It kind of reminds me of the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, the way it looks and the coverage. I'm curious to see. I am going to try the white mixer with other foundations and see if it turns into the same oily mess. If you are extremely dry and want something more light to medium coverage, more on the light side with one layer, you might like this. If you're oily, stay the fuck away. It didn't crease anywhere because I don't think it has anything to crease. It's literal oil. So probably will pass on the foundation, but as far as the white mixer, I am going to be continuing to play around with it and see if it works well with any other foundations. If you guys like this video and are excited about 15 days of foundation, don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.